I think we're cooked. Is it just me or are we in a global recession? I mean,
I don't care what anyone says, we are 1,000,000% in a recession due to the fact that Facebook Marketplace has been popping off lately. Like, people are selling their treasures that they've had in their basement or their garage because they need money.
How's everybody surviving? I get paid bi-weekly and we are a family of 4. We have 2 kids. How are y'all surviving? Because I'm not. I got paid today and it's gone. Goes toward the mortgage, cell phone bill, gas and electric, garbage, everything gone. Between insurance, car insurance between my husband and I, everything gone. And then I have to go to the grocery store. This isn't even factoring in groceries for a family of fucking 4. So imagine how it's like every month. It's like, do we go do a big load haul of groceries or do we pay our mortgage? Like I can't do both. And my husband works 50 hours a week. I work 40 hours a week. We can't do both.
Americans everywhere are struggling. And people like to make it seem like it's just you. People try to make it seem like you're lazy. You just need to pull yourself up by the bootstraps and stop overspending money. But as we're going to see in today's video, it's plenty of Americans that make plenty of money with no kids and double their household income. And they're still struggling. They still can't afford the basic necessities. They're still going without things like insurance and gas. And they're still determining whether or not they should eat and buy groceries or they should pay their phone bill and have cell phone service. Plenty of people are determining between what 2 things they need, and millions of Americans are starting to think that we are in a recession.
I'm an American. I pay $1,600 for a flat that has no bedroom. That's 2/3 of my income. I'm an American. I work 50 hours a week. I don't have health insurance. I'm an American. I couldn't afford to have a child even if I wanted to. I'm $7,000 in debt. I'm an American. My health is declining because I can't afford Whole Foods because that's too expensive for my life. I am very overqualified for my job, but no one else is hiring. I'm an American. I make my boss hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, while I can barely keep myself alive. I'm an American. I have never been out of the States. I have never been on a vacation. I'm an American. I make $20-some an hour. A livable wage here is like 30-some. Yet I don't qualify for government assistance whatsoever. On the days I don't work, I'm so tired I just sleep all day. I'm an American. My electric bill is so expensive I sit outside in the heat because I can't afford to turn the AC on in the damn house. I'm an American, and I fear I'm just an average American. I'm living the American dream.
The extraordinarily wealthy in this country, I don't think have ever experienced being at a counter at the grocery store trying to figure out, can the $40 I have left in my checking account until Friday get me this gallon of milk for my kid, fill my gas tank to get to work, and give my kid lunch money, because you don't want them to feel the pain, and get the gallon of milk and the bread and the deli meat. Can it do all of that? Because the $40 really can't. And you as the parent know that. And yet, a lot of these people will think you're lazy. Well, just work harder. And these people are already maxed out. They already have a master's degree. They have more education than those other people who say, well, just work harder.
You know, y'all, I just saw something that touched my heart. I just saw a mom hooked up to a machine who states that she is giving her plasma in exchange for money to be able to afford her children's school clothes and supplies. A mom is giving plasma. This is what's happening in the USA. And I just want to say, as a former single mom myself, who was once a homeless single mom, I know how hard single moms work to provide for their children. I am absolutely praying for single moms out there. But I also want to add this. There are a lot of single moms who are finding that it is better to move abroad as it relates to affordability. There are many countries out there where you can go and you will find that the cost of living is a lot less than America.
I was thinking about this. We are the richest country on the planet, one of the richest countries. Why does it look like ass? Like, really think about that for a second. Like, when you're driving, if you're not in like Florida or California or the coast of like Oregon or whatever, it's like, this place looks like shit. And we have so much money. Like, I'm thinking of like Europe and Japan and all the architecture like across the world and how beautiful it looks. Why don't we have like rose gold buildings, and like, why does the Kmart's and like all of the stores look like shit? Like, I don't know. I'm just thinking in my head, I'm closing my eyes and I can imagine like like look at China, like Shanghai, like the coast, like all those videos you see, that's like no joke, stunning, beautiful, high tech. You would think America would look like that with the amount of money that we have, but it just looks like, ugh, you know what I mean?
You want to see something disgusting? I just did a little bit of grocery shopping. Let me look, hang on. $106.70 for that.
I remember when I used to pay $60 for a bag. That's crazy.
I don't know about you, but I miss being like regular sad about the world and not like catastrophically horrified every day by the world. Just me?
You just don't want to admit it, but van life equals housing crisis. This isn't a vibe, and this is not freedom. This is what happens when housing collapses and survival becomes illegal. Millions of us are being pushed to live into vehicles just to survive. And cities are treating us like shit. And for most of us, van life is the last resort, and we're being hunted for it.
And as you can see by that video, there's a real reason why millions of Americans do think we're in a recession or even a new Great Depression. Because people are saying, how come this costs so much money? How come my phone bill costs $147 is what the average American pays? How come my rent costs $1,600, which is what the average American pays? How come food for a family of 3 or 4 costs close to $1,000? 4, 5, 6 a family costs over $1,000. How come life is so expensive, yet while the prices go up every year, my wage doesn't keep up? While grocery prices go up 30, 40, 50% a year, while electricity prices go up 15% a year, while rent goes up 20% a year, while everything is going up every single year, my wage is only going up 0.2%. What, you get a 2% raise every year? I mean, just think about it. If you're only making $15 to $20 an hour, a 2% raise isn't even $1. So while all your bills are going up $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a year, you know, you might be paying $50,000 in bills this year, and next year you'll be paying $55,000, but you're not even making the extra $1,000 a year in your wage. So there's a reason why plenty of Americans are struggling and thinking that the government doesn't care about us and trying to find other ways. People talking about leaving in America, me. People talking about living in their cars, me. People talking about, you know, going off grid. I don't do that, but that's a viable option for some people. You have to determine what's good for your lifestyle. If you're a very outdoorsy person, that might be for you. If you want to travel like me, go ahead and leaving now and finding a place to live, searching up good cost of living areas, and don't let people tell you otherwise. People go in my comments all the time and say your plan is failure. You don't have a plan. You're going to fail. They do not want you there where you're going. And at the end of the day, I don't listen to them. You know why? Because if I do go with a little bit of savings and a plan, I execute that plan and work really hard, guess what? It's going to work. And if it doesn't work, as long as you still have your American citizenship, you can always come back. So there's nothing wrong with trying, especially if you're young. But if you make some kind of remote income, You know, if you have your own business and you don't have to go anywhere in person, you make all your money online, you're a personal trainer, you're an influencer, you're a digital marketer, whatever you do, if you make any kind of remote income, there's no reason you should think America is your only option. There's plenty of options out there, and it's not just you that are struggling. It's millions of Americans. Explore your options, and no, people will try to sit here and tell you it's just you, but it's not.
Let me get this straight. Inflation is going to keep going up. Taxes are going to keep going up. Interest rates are going to keep going up. National debt's going to keep going up. Wages are probably going to be going down now with the implementation of AI. It's going to make like easier, mundane shit, much easier to do. So what's the end game here? So if you're not already rich, or you're not going to be rich very soon, what is really the end game here? I'm actually like asking you, like, what is the end game?
So I just got my Ameren bill. Mind you, I live in Missouri. Single household, so it's just me, my dog, my 2 cats. House isn't huge, not even, it's normal, right? 3-bed, 2-bath, nothing crazy, like a little under 1,700 square foot, like literally nothing crazy, right? My bill, $282.99. Carla Joe, vacation's over, girl. Vacation is over. Where are the brothers at? But honestly, when does it end? When does it stop?
$830.27. Anybody want to guess what that is? You won't guess. So I'm just going to share it with you. That is my electric bill this month. Okay? Full disclosure, that is less than last month. Our bill last month was $1,130.98. I'm sorry, it's insane. That is my mortgage payment plus more. Okay? I don't know how anybody is expected to pay that. So, I mean, our house is big. It's not huge. It's not a mansion. It's about 2,500 square feet, 5 bedrooms, 3 baths. We had 5 children. Our bills with our children, all 5 living at home, were between $400 and $700 a month. So we have called the electric company. They've come out. We live beside a restaurant. We were adamant that we were paying the electric company's bill also. I mean, it's ridiculous. Who can afford even $400 a month for electricity, but they expect us to pay $830 or $1,130. So, yeah, I logged in this morning to see what our bill was when it was due, $830.27.
So we got our electric bill for the month of July, $650. For the month of June, it was $560. For the month of August, if it keeps raising, our electric company, Centerpoint Energy, they're pieces of, we will have given them $2,000 in 3 months just for our electric bill. I can't afford that. And if I can't afford that, I can't imagine other people and what the they're paying. This is bullshit. Like they're forcing us to not pay our bills so that they can force us out of our houses or something. This is absolutely bullshit.
I think there's a lot more people that's not paying their bills than media wants you to know. They've been real quiet about this issue. And I'm not talking about utilities like necessities. I'm talking about, I really don't think there's a lot of people. I think there's a lot of people that's not paying like medical bills, their mortgages, credit card bills, and any other bills, you've accumulated other than like water, electricity, and gas. Because I don't think the American government wants people to get the idea that if they stop paying their bills, nothing's going to happen. But I think that's what's happening. I know that there are a lot of people who stopped being able to afford their mortgage, and they're still in their houses, and it's been 2-3 years. Because whether they admit it or not, we've been in a recession for years. And I think once the rest of us realize that, wait, I stopped paying my credit card bill and really nothing's happening other than it's messing up this phantom credit score and everybody's credit is jacked up. So now what? think a lot of people aren't paying bills. So, I mean, I've stopped paying some bills. I'm like, I ain't paying this mess. Shoot, put it on my credit report. I get it off.
Have you guys stopped paying your credit cards yet? Because I promise I am about 2 seconds away from not paying my credit cards. Literally, just the thought of going grocery shopping makes me sick. Like, how the hell is anyone even affording anything right now? My husband drives a 2017 GMC Sierra, and it's $240 to renew his insurance. And we still had to pay $195 on top of that for the last month's insurance. Let's not get started on electric and how much it's going up. I just got a notice saying that our water bill was going up, and my electric company keeps on playing games with us. So with that being said, I'm literally 2 seconds away from not paying my credit cards no more. Because at this point, I got my house. I'm not financing a car. I can't refinance this house because my credit's so freaking shot that it doesn't matter. So I'm really about to say F them credit cards and not pay them. Am I the only one?
You know how I know America is struggling? It's been about 14 days since I had one single job. I went a whole year working at least 1 or 2 jobs per day. And now, 14 days, nothing's changed. Everything's good. I got good reviews. Everything's, I'm a handyman, so do yard work, electrical, all sorts of stuff. 14 days, I have not had one single job. Nothing's changed. Everything's good. I'm getting clicks. I'm getting, everything's good. That tells me that Americans are going super broke. They're trying to do things themselves, which is fine, but 14 days, not one single job. The struggle is about to get real, y'all.
So with all that, being said, all those clips, I'm pretty sure y'all get the point now that no matter what happens, no matter what nobody says, no matter what I say, no matter what you think, everyone's struggling besides the rich. If you're American, being American sucks. Living in America sucks. Unless you're not American. If you're a corporation, if you're someone that doesn't belong here and you start getting free stuff, you start getting tax write-offs, you don't even pay taxes, life is great for you. But for us that are paying thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars a month in expenses on top of taxes, and you don't make enough money to survive, but you make too little money to get help, stuff like that. Those scenarios are what drive people crazy, make people stop paying debt, make people stop paying their credit card loans, their car loans, their student loans, their house mortgages. They stop paying because they feel like it doesn't matter. Their credit score is already bad. It doesn't matter how much money they throw at you. Their situation is going to keep getting worse and worse and worse every year. So they just stop paying. They'll let you take whatever you want to take, and they'll keep their money. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people don't pay, and while nothing happens to them right away, it comes back to bite them in the future. But we're thinking about how can we survive in the moment. We don't care about the future when life is so expensive right now. Well, y'all want us to think about, why it's getting married and having kids and buying a house and starting a family and leaving a legacy. We can't even, survive now. How are we going to survive in the future? Think about retirement and all of that. That's not valuable right now. And as you can see, it wasn't just me and it wasn't just you. But with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. And remember, no matter what happens, as long as you're alive, life goes on.